he spoke and defended his mother. The first miracle attributed to Jesus in the Holy Quran is that he spoke as an infant from his mother's arms. The first miracle of Jesus Christ, the other picture, the first miracle. You read in the Gospel of St. John, I think it's chapter 3 at the beginning. Jesus and his disciples go to the marriage feast at Cana. And they run short of wine, W-I-N-E, wine. So his mother comes to him and says, son, look, these people are in a problem. They have run short of wine. Help them out. Believing that he's got mysterious powers to help these people solve the problem. So Jesus blurts out, according to the Bible, he says, woman, what have I to do with thee? My time is not yet. Woman. In the whole of the 27 books of the New Testament, not once does he call his mother, mother. Woman. I'm asking, in the Hebrew language, is there no word for mother? This word woman he uses for the prostitute. Same word. You see, the woman who was caught in the act, they bring her to Jesus. They say, look, this woman, we caught her in the act. What must we do to her? They're putting him to the test. They're trying to get him embroiled with the government or with the religious authorities. Either way, he loses. If he says, stone her, that was the law, book of Leviticus, that the adulterer and the adulteress must be stoned to death. If he says, stone her as a man of God, he must abide by the law. Stone her. And they would have stoned her and killed her. And if they were apprehended by the law, by the government, they said, look, our Messiah told us to. This is what our Messiah said. So he's in conflict with the government. Because adultery was not a capital crime in the Roman Empire, nor is it today in Christendom. It is not a crime at all. Adultery is no crime. Did you know that? Adultery is not a crime in any Christian nation on earth. It's not a crime. The law will not hold you responsible for committing adultery. He calls the prostitute, woman, where are thine accusers? So he says, no, they're all gone. So he said, all right, go and sin no more. Woman. He says, there's not a single place he calls his mother, mother in the Bible. So he says, woman, what have I to do with thee? My time is not yet. So she persuades him. He said, look, man, help them out. These people are in difficulty. He says, all right, fill up the vats. You know, the wine vats with water. And they fill it up. And he turned the water into wine. And they drank. And they remarked, the drunkards of the night who have been drinking, imbibing all night, they're remarking, why have you kept the best wine for the last? The best wine, why have you kept it to the last? So my brother Jimmy Swaggart, he says in his book that that wine was pure grape juice. I said, brother, I didn't have a chance to talk about that, but I said, brother, Swaggart, you see, if a man has been imbibing wine for a whole night and the things run dry and you give him pure grape juice, that grape juice is like mud water to him because there is a law involved. You drink 5% alcoholic drink, 5%, after a while your senses are getting dulled. You need 10% to make you feel that it's alcohol, something to give you a kick. Then you need 20% to make you to feel there is something potency in it. You have to increase the alcoholic content to make you feel that it's better than the previous one, it's better than the previous one. If you give such a man grape juice, he says it's mud water. What is it? Insipid, no taste. And he's telling us in his book called Alcohol. This is one of the, he's telling us, and I have no reason to contradict him unless you have. He said there are 11 million drunkards in America, 11 million drunkards. And 44 million heavy drinkers. Get that book, small book. I have a sample here, I think. Alcohol. 11 million drunkards and 44 million heavy drinkers. And he says, to me, there's no difference between the two. Means 55 million drunkards, as far as Jimmy Swaggart is concerned. In my country, they don't call them drunkards. It's an insult. A guy can punch you on the jaw if you call a man a drunkard. You have to call him alcoholic. You know, the poor man is sick. It's a sickness. He needs treatment. It's not a sin. Alcohol is not a sin. It's a sickness. Jimmy Swaggart calls a spade a spade. He said drunkards. 55 million drunkards in America. 11 million drunkards and heavy drinkers. I make no difference. I said, yes, brother. I said, go a step further. Islam will take you a step further. He said, even your social drinkers are on the same level. They're breaking the laws and commandments of God as given in the last and final revelation of God. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, he said, whatever intoxicates in greater quantity is forbidden even in smaller quantity. No excuse for a nip or a pot. The Holy Quran says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru, most certainly intoxicants, wal maisiru, and gambling, wal ansabu, and fortune telling, wal azlamu, and idol worship, rijzum min amali shaitan, are an abomination of Satan's handiwork, fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. It's a shun such abomination that you may prosper. And one pronouncement, he created the biggest society of teetotalers in the world. 1,000 million Muslims, as a people as a whole, they don't imbibe that filth. We have our black sheep. We are not all angels. We know some Muslims can bring the Christian under the table. That you know.